away, stupid thing. Guess what I'm doing on Thursday, mate? Good evening, good evening. Once again, we've got a lovely Tuesday night of racing ahead of us. SuperCars NZ bringing you the Allports Motorsport V8 Championship. Our Div 1 races tonight. Getting out there doing their thing. Round 10, Spa, the francorchamps, some long racetrack over in Belgium somewhere. Coming to you via the Broadcasting Lounge and also across on our New Zealand Sim Racing TV channel this evening. I'm Doug and I'm joined in our lovely Broadcasting Lounge by the one and only Corey Kitchen. How are we doing, mate?
Yeah, I'm good, Dougie. It's Tuesday, V8s. Only 3 rounds to go of Gen 2, ladies and gentlemen. It's sad, but at the same time, we're full of joy because a new car gets to come. But we got to get through this fresh-looking Spa tonight, Doug.
It is. It's the revamped model of the track. The real-life racetrack not too long ago went through some safety improvements and updating, and also built a new bit of a grandstand area for people who go along to the real-life track to go and view and do their thing. So a lot of the, I think some of the big modifications that were done were also to be able to incorporate running MotoGP, the motorbikes, more safely around the track as well. So it's a slightly better look for us here tonight as we see Dan Nolan drifting out of one of the corners there on the downhill. And yes, it's going to be full of a lot of excitement. We've got 24 hot laps of racing this evening. The guys are cutting out roughly about a 2-minute 18 lap round here, so a little bit longer than what we usually do at the infamous Mount Panorama Bathurst track. So yeah, looking forward to about 50 minutes of racing, 2 compulsory pit stops where they have to take a minimum of 1 litre at each stop, and they can choose which tyres, if they want to take any, during that period. So it'll be interesting to see how the boys strategise their races this evening as we watch the last few seconds of the warm-up tick over before our guys get ready to grid.
Yeah, we've got what? So 3 rounds to go, Doug, and the points at the moment. Bruce Tannock, he is on 466 points. He's only won one race this year,
Yep.
this season, in the sprint championship. Anyway, average start of fourth and average finish second.
Yep.
So he's got a wee bit of a gap back to Darren Lobb, which is 55 points currently in second, and Sean McNamara, as we always see him, in third. He seems to come third. I don't know what it is, but he's 334 points, so that's your top three. But it's a little bit tighter. You've got Michael Gunstone, Leon Weir, and Blake Greenhall, all within 45 points of each other. And Peter Vanderberg and Jason Cossey, Eamon Young, and Dan Nolan rounding out the top 10.
Well,
And here we are grilling up now.
there we go. Sorry, Corey, you briefly just cut out there for a second, mate. So just that last bit of message was just fallen off there. But yes, we have got the cars gridding up, ready to go. Darren Lobb away from the front as we watch the cars getting ready to come down into that tight hairpin corner at pit lane exit there. Everyone keeping it pretty clean. We'll have just a little bit of a look back through the order. A few cars bumping, grinding and shuffling. Let's bring up some picture-in-picture. Thank you, Corey.
Yeah, Sean McNamara, middle of the pack, currently in 12th. And we've got a car off there, look like.
Oh, I think Michael Gunstone's name plummeting down the grid order there, and also got crash data on that, so we'll have a looky back on that one soon to see what happened. But quick move to the front made by Dion de Graaf, not mucking around at the start here. He started from what I believe was third or fourth spot there, and he's quickly put his name down on the tarmac and pushed into P1. So Darren Lobb started second. Apparently Leo Duncan had qualified ahead of him, but don't think he's made the race start, unfortunately. He's way down the bottom of the order, and I don't see any time taken up beside his name, so not too sure what's happened with Leo there. Yeah, Bruce doing Bruce things behind Darren. They've been teammates before, but they will certainly be pushing each other to race as hard as they possibly can. Fourth spot we have Leon Weir. He'll be wanting to stay glued to these guys as much as possible. He might want to try and follow some of their lines to conserve some of that tyre balance coming around the track. And just in behind him, already up 5 spots from the start, Jono Gibson making it up from P10 there into spot number 5. It's a monstrous start.
Yeah, it has been a monstrous start, and it's still quite tight. The front guys are all fairly close. There's a little bit of a gap. Dan Nolan, and then there is a huge pack of cars right through to 24th. So we've still got looks to be 26 cars running. Leo Duncan may have had some technical issues, and he is back out on track.
Very good. Well, that's good to hear. Actually, just got some data of Darren Lobb crashing there. You can see him. He's he's actually just ahead of the pack that we're watching here. Big fall away from him, down 11 spots now into P13, as we see Shane White and Quinn Wilson battle for position number 11. Shane getting up over the bumps there and running a little bit shy on the outside there. He may have picked up a bit of a slowdown. We'll see what happens with that. But Shane now with his teammate Dane Northdirth down the inside of him. Shane was explaining earlier that he wasn't overly happy with how qualifying and his practice laps were going, just not feeling too settled with the car, and you see him losing a few more spots there, as it looks like he's potentially been bleeding away that time penalty from a bit of a whoopsie coming up the hill. But good battling. Nice door-to-door action there with Daniel Heddershot, as we haven't seen him around for a wee while in the fully floored Commodore. He's got the sea of green behind him, and one black shark in the middle of it.
The Green Army.
Yeah, that's our Misfits boys there, and the one and only Stefan Adams just sitting there, just at the front of that, or towards the front of that pack in the black and yellow Simblax Racing, Simblax vehicle there.
And the Passion Sim Racing purple cars do stand out and amongst the crowd as well.
That's those ones there. So the creator of the Passion Sim Racing team, Dane Northworth, there sitting spot number 14 currently. Quinn Wilson attacking him in the chromed out Paraflights car, company down in Queenstown there, the old Paraflights. I think Quinn's the business owner of that, so if you're down south these ways over Christmas, New Year, maybe give it a look up and go for a wee bit of a fly around over some of the lakes, get yourself a nice bit of viewage. Be something fun to do.
Yeah, that's definitely something we like to do when you're up around that neck of the woods. Good view. And it is in our backyard too, isn't it?
It sure is. It's an easy one for us. A gentle 5-hour drive would have us down near Queenstown. Just watching this sea of green going on. I think you're on board there with Ross Watson.
Yeah, getting fairly loose there out of that corner, and a few gravel traps and stuff like that popped up on the circuit here now, Doug.
Yeah, they have. Where they weren't before, they were just some concrete runoffs into the wall. Those sand traps are now out there and ready to do their thing. Again, just believe part of the safety updates that they had to for the MotoGP boys when they had them starting to do their thing. But yeah, I believe you were. You could be right there, Scott. The updates of Spa could have been a couple of years ago now. So time does fly. I thought it was only within the last year that it had been done. So we could split the difference, I suppose, and both be right. But I'm sure you were. You will have all the info on that one. Let's have a bit of a looky. You've got a really cool view there. Oh, here we go.
Oh wow!
Sean McNamara doing Macca things there for a second, but not quite what we wanted. Yeah, Blake
Greenhall.
Blake Greenhall, early run-in for him. Wonder if he might be just trying to amend some early damage, or just get out of the sink of the battles there and go back out and run his race.
But Bruce Tannock, he's just laid down a lucky 219 with 5-0.
He has. He's put the call to the master out and said, Dion, I am here. What have you got for me? Just as much as we see here with this battle happening between Sean McNamara and Evan Young, two cars and two names that over the history have often found themselves in close battles towards each other. And then just ahead of Sean is the other Diesel Services Limited vehicle of Jason Cossey, teammate to Eamon Young there. Darren Lobb slowly making a bit of a recovery run up through the field. He's back up into 8th spot there now and got his eyes fixated in front of him towards Luke Allman.
plenty of action going on at the moment.
Lots of
So
it.
was it
Lots of it.
two compulsory pit stops tonight, Doug?
Yeah.
And a minimum of, is it 1 litre of fuel?
Correct.
And you can
Yes.
take whatever tyres you like.
That's it. So the boys probably wouldn't be able to do a full race just on that on one full tank anyway. Nor would they probably want to. They probably strategise a little bit, something along the lines that they'll work out it might take 8 to 10 seconds to change a set of tyres, and they may want to do 1 or 2 of those. So they'll equate for the fuel dump over that time of the tyres being done as a part of their take, so they can start on some slightly lower fuel loads, knowing that they can pump that in while they get some freshies on and get back out there. Great attacking view here off the front of Darren's car, as we see the altered view from the back of Luke Allman, who's just in front of Darren here. How close Darren will get. Look at that run up the hill there, was absolutely blistering. Luke Allman actually backing off a wee bit there. He might have just caught himself out with a bit of a slowdown penalty, and he's decided to try and clear that before coming into the S's. Darren now all over the back of Jono Gibson, as he's made his pass on him, and it is now onto the back of Robbie Bradbury. I was going to make my way up towards these guys not that long ago, but I saw the pace of which Darren was closing on them, and I thought, well, you know what, we've got 50 minutes of racing, we will certainly get there. There probably won't be many names that we don't mention tonight.
No, well, at the moment, everybody's in a bit of a fierce battle for race position, and it all could come down to a pit stop, I think. And as we see one of the Misfits cars, that Ross Watson, Roger Forbert maybe, they're running fairly wide.
I think it was actually Peter Vanderberg, just unsettled in his car there, running wide, and he's fallen down probably about 5 or 6 cars just at that moment. So something a bit interesting has unfolded. We have Darren once again just making another pass. Robbie Bradbury, his most recent victim, not quite willing to give it all away just yet. And that sort of becomes a slightly harder thing to do as fast cars come back up through the order. Oh,
at the front, there's a bit of drama.
Oh, it was like a bit of double taggage there. That was a bit of an interesting one, and what it's done is it's opened up the door for Leon Weir to move forward into second place, and actually Rogers come through and made a pass on Bruce as well. So once again, this race has brought another element of spice through. It looked like Bruce has just made a bit of a dive on Dion. Maybe Dion closed down over top of him a wee bit, got tangled, and looked like Bruce was getting ready to redress, just hold up, and Dion spun it round on the spot. Bruce has tried to move away, then Dion's coincidentally gave him a wee tickle. But while there's lots of action happening, I'm just a bit uninclined to look back on some of those replays just yet. Once things sort of settle down a little bit, when we get some pit stops happening, we'll be able to go back and have a look at breaking down some of those moments from earlier on.
I was just going to mention there the gap that was from back to Leon Weir from those two at the front was up to 7 seconds.
Correct.
Before that happened.
Yes.
Yeah, so it all turned around pretty quickly. Now Leon Weir currently
turned
takes
around
control of the race.
I see what you did there, Corey. Hang on, I'm sure we've got a bit of it somewhere. Where is it? Is it in here? No. Could have been a bit of a drum sound, but not to be.
Oh, yes.
I found it. There we go.
Yeah, or, you know, just purely wow, you know. Here we go.
Magical.
Maybe we can play that when somebody just does one of those passes that, as we see down the graph, he's had enough, going to get some fuel, tile or a tyre, something.
Yep.
At least 1 litre.
Yep.
It's followed in, actually. Robbie Bradbury, Jason Cossey, Sean McMurray, Eamon Young and Dane Northrup all down the lane. Scott McKenzie, Derek Lovegrove, Chris Suppersuch all joining.
Yeah, that's certainly a flooding of people going in there. Lap 7 of 24. I would have thought that was a little bit on the early side. So I would say, looking at that now, that would be nearly half the field have come in to take their stops. And equally, they're all leaving at a great rate of knots as well.
Yep, so it's been split into a couple of races now. How's your mo going for Movember, Doug?
I am not quite moish, but a bit more. What do you call them? I got the full circle thing happening around my lip and chin.
Handlebars.
All the way around. They connect.
Oh, right, yep. Oh, that's probably a goatee.
Yeah, I think that's the one. I don't know why I couldn't remember that.
Yeah, and Movember's going alright for the SuperCars NZ team. Up to 590 we've raised so far for Movember, and that's all going to men's health and mental health and testicular cancer and prostate cancer as well.
Yes, indeed. Quickly going to put into here as well, because it wasn't in there before. But this wee bad boy here, cover up the race cars. That bad boy there, that's a QR code. That is a link to our donations page.
It is, yes, and you can go in there and generously donate. There is a link, hopefully, in the description as well, which takes you to the MoSpace. And hoping to, I've set myself a goal. I want to get to 1,000, and then we'll actually get something from Movember. They sent out some sort of record with the Movember, and yeah, I thought it'd be pretty cool to get some sort of memoir to keep. And yeah, so the goal was set.
Mean beans.
So yeah, any little you've got there, maybe jump in the link, and if it's $5, $2, I'll still love you the same.
So interesting development changes here in the race, as we have obviously seen some changes afoot. I was just about to comment on there must be a very tight battle taking place between Dion de Graaf and Leon Weir, as we see that in the picture-in-picture. Thank you to Corey for allowing us to have that one. And they were tippy topper tippers coming up through Eau Rouge there. And out the front we've got Roger Forbert defending off Darren Lobb, who's made his way back into spot number 2, and with Bruce Tannock sitting just in behind them. Jono Gibson respectively still sitting on close to that to where he was earlier. He's come up another spot with with Leon going into the pits there before, but Jono now sitting in 4th spot, and he's got Luke Orman trailing him around the track. So he's now sitting in spot number 5. 7 seconds back down the field though, and that would give you probably a bit of the indication of how many cars had split out from the field before. We now have Quinn Wilson showing there in 6th spot. Just a touch back from, sorry mate, just a touch back from Quinn. We have Glenn.
I was just going to say Scotty's just put in next year could be a mow or mullet thing. Well, actually, you can mow your own way with something that was brought into Movember, so that can be anything you want. So you could grow yourself a mullet over November, but I don't think it would really grow too much in a month unless you've got superhuman Westport hair.
Yep. You know, you could always go out and get a cool wee tattoo done of a person mowing some lawnage, and you could shave a wee strip out of your chest hairs.
Oh, yeah, that's pass.
You could do anything you want with that.
Definitely could. But yeah, Movember, great cause. And weekly sponsors, so we'll yarn about a little bit this week. HPR on Thursday, that series getting close to the end as well. Douglas?
Yeah. Yep, coming up. Currently working my way through, manually working out the points once again, which I thought I'd got away with having to do this season on account of iRacing tallying their own doing their points championship, but something went awry during the setup on that, and currently no driver's been awarded any points whatsoever, so I've got a bit of homework to get done on that one. But nonetheless, great series of high performance racing vehicles. It's HPR, High Performance Racing, and we have them obviously the hypercars racing themselves and running around the same track with the GT3s as they battle themselves. So 2 championships inside the one series, and it's probably going to be taking a bit of a shake-up coming into the summer series as we look to find out what our drivers are inclined to want to do as far as GT racing is going, and let them lead our hand a little bit, come up with some ideas and some suggestions, and hopefully bring you some more invigorating racing. It could be solo championships, or it could still be mixed, two championships running at the same time. But watch the space. We're not too far away from season end and a new one upon us, and the details on all of that will be out very shortly.
Yeah, plenty to come for the new season. The return of the Piston Cup.
Yes.
This one also.
That's thanks to this man here.
Where were we on? Stefan, yeah, thanks to Simplex, that's right. Yes, and also very big thanks to Simplex for jumping on board with my spontaneous Super Soapbox Derby that will take place in mid-December.
Now, go on, Corey. Quick, bring up some information on our Gen 3 release Soapbox Derby, and we'll quickly make that big enough for the peoples at home to see as well while we've got picture rolling.
Oh, right, that's what we were going to do. I'd forgotten completely about that and haven't got it open.
What are you on about, Doug?
Yeah, but what you talking about, Willis? I did have it open, hang on. We did it.
Rightio, so let's... So
yeah, look at that.
There we go. That's all of a bit of what's happening come Wednesday 18th of December this year. We're going to be putting the new Gen 3 cars up against one another in a way that will probably never ever have been done before, or certainly won't have been done before, and probably not to be replicated any time in the near future, I'd say, by anyone else outside the bounds of our craziness here at SuperCars NZ. But yeah, so Mount Washington, it's a what would you say? It's a one way in, one way out racetrack.
It's a hill climb, Dougie. So you've got a descent and well, obviously an up. So we're going to go down. So 5 litres of fuel. That's got to get you to the bottom, and we're also going to award bonus points for skidding out like that. Whoever that was.
Yeah, that was Sean.
So yeah, so it was intended to be a little bit of fun, and in light of some recent events and feelings, it just so happened that the Cancer Society are now going to, well, $5 is for entry, and we just want it to be donated to the Cancer Society because they do an absolutely fantastic job throughout New Zealand supporting families. It's not just the people that are suffering with it, but the families that are also going through it, and the staggering number, Doug, that 1 in 3 families is affected by cancer in one way or another. Sorry, that's 1 in 3 people. So yeah, it's just something to sink in. It's definitely this year it's shown me quite a few different people have gone through different stages of it.
Been in the same boat, as you know, with from people with inside my family and extended family alike. It's certainly not been a kind year in that regard.
But no, so a bit of light-hearted fun. It's so everybody gets one shot to get down the hill. The furthest or the quickest to the bottom with the least fuel usage will be declared the winner.
Yeah, so obviously you said it's a hill climb battle, but we're doing it soapbox derby style. So that means like the old soapboxes of the day, they were purely gravity fed, so down the hill we shall go, but we're being a little bit more generous and allowing our boys the ability to use 5 litres of fuel to get themselves up and running and under speed, and maybe use it at some crucial points going down the hill where there might be some straightaways or something, or where they may need to give it a wee bit of a power kick to get it round some corners. You never know. But yeah, as Corey said, once that 5 litres is done, that'll be it. It'll be pure gravity taking you down to the bottom of the hill or through the nearest lot of trees on stage left and right. So it will be very interesting. There'll be a lot of in-car cam shots because I think it is quite a heavily populated track the majority of the way down with trees. So it should bring its own lot of fun and excitement, and once again for an awesome cause, getting some money through to the Cancer Society. So, and SuperCars NZ will be there to throw a few extra dollars that way once that event is up and running too.
Yes, and I did have a lovely lady on the phone from the Cancer Society once I put set up the page for donations, and I had a phone call from a lovely lady, Cherie, and she was based at the Canterbury site. She was part of the funding, and they were very intrigued, like, what are you boys up to? A few questions, and so more to come of that too. They want to be involved in sort of spreading it out once it's organised, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, so we'll be coming to the greater woods of people via some other channels looked after by the Cancer Society crew as well. So nothing better than being able to work together to bring some interesting ideas to the table, and as we see some absolute carnage in the background. I'm not too sure. I saw it happen in front of me, but not enough to be able to break that one down. But I'm going to say someone probably wasn't allowed enough racing room, and someone was gliding across, and it resulted in a bit of tanglage. And one Darren Lobb, point leader currently in the championship, has gone and flattened his car into the wall at a great rate of knots and had to tow him back to pit lane. So that'll be his second stop for the evening out of the way, and it'll be just now a matter of seeing what positions he can come up with to recover. We'll have to keep an eye on him towards the end of that race. But up here at the front, we've so Blake Grenhall's currently leading the field, and I laugh because Blake's often just turns up and races with very minimal practice, and often finds himself in these extraordinary scenarios where he's towards the front.
Yes, he's just got a knack of just turning up and it's
going okay.
Yeah, just sitting there and just doing things that you wouldn't think you'd be able to do off no practice, because I definitely can't drive these cars.
No, that's right. I'm not. I would have to do some serious practice and learning on how to develop my skill set on driving one of these. And it's actually been such a long time from racing anyway. I think climbing into any vehicle at the moment would have me struggling. But I certainly enjoy doing the commentating side of it. I see you've got a nice wee view from inside Roger Forbert's cab there. Roger sitting in 5th spot, chasing down Robbie Bradbury.
Yes, they were the closest cars I could find on track, so I jumped on to have a wee look-see.
Just a slightly altered view there, out of the car onto the nose. Go from Robbie's and have a look back over the spoiler. Roger, is he in the draft? Not quite. Here's some hurting tyres getting pushed around the corners here. Oh, a bit of lock-up there from Blake. He's actually got some significant crash data. He's limping his way into pit lane with a chuff going on, so might actually just take the opportunity now. We'll have a quick look back and see what happened to Blake. I'm going to say he got loose coming through the kicker there. He's done a mighty fine job to recover to his pit lane. He'll get the boys out quickly to do the engine swap. Bit of a nibble by the great white shark. We'll see what happens with that one there. Blake back out now, having had his second stop, and sits down there in spot 20. But as we said, towards the front, the closest battle taking place currently is between Robbie Bradbury, Roger Forbert, and it's actually got Leon Weir tacked onto the back of that one.
Yeah, she's all go mid-race here. How far are we through, Dougie? So yeah,
14 laps, 10 laps to go. So just going to have a bit of a scroll down through some of Scott's comments. I really enjoy the nattering there, Scotty. It's good to see, even though we don't quite touch base on it much there. But he's added his 5 cents on how to possibly spice things up a bit more differently for the V8s for next season as well, about possibility of using the Monday night's race, which is currently a practice night racing, to be set aside for the qualifying. and then Tuesday could be set just as just for racing, which obviously could be split into whatever different factions you want it to be, and yeah, so you could do different things with that. Average lap time over the race is what qualifies you for the main race on Tuesday, so a good way to be able to weasel out some people who, can put down a single quick lap time versus who can do consistently quick times as well. What else we got there? So
He needs a haircut.
Yeah, he does need to have a haircut. Having one in about 3 years, I would say you're well and truly on your way to growing a mullet.
Is that when your mullet attaches to your mohair?
Yeah, you plait them together.
Stonesy's in on the chat. G'day, son.
Yes.
Bruce and Blake up to no good again.
Yeah, and Scott was wanting me to dive in on that one and put my 5 cents in. I think we'll leave that one alone at the moment. We know there's been history there. We'll see what that history writes in the chat later on this evening. If you want to hear the inside scoop on what happens in the background, feel free to come and join us at SuperCars NZ. Get yourself a sim, come along, have some racing, jump into the Discord, and you'll be able to hear all the banter before, during, and after the race, whether you like it or not.
Yeah, it's just everything's flattened out a little bit here.
Yeah, there is. We've still got the greater half of the field still to come in and do their pit stops as well, and I reckon that will probably bring everyone back in together. It's not overly a track, I'd say, where people can just be passing all the time. There's a lot of straightaways for drafting, but that sort of just means that you swap places with one another from time to time.
Pit lane is busy again as
Sure.
4 of the top 5 come in. Robbie Bradbury stayed out.
Yes, Jono Gibson, Quinn Wilson also part of that. Daniel Heddershide rolling on by. Shane White's rolling on by this time round. Glenn Collinson rolling on by this time round as well, and he makes up the last of the boys on the first stop strategy. Bit of funny glitching there for a moment between Dan and Sean's car. They've come out of the pit lane just ahead of Michael Gunstone. Actually haven't had much of a chance to talk about Gunners tonight, have we?
No, it's been pretty quiet, I think.
So he's done his second stop. He's currently 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
He got into an incident there at the start, didn't he? He was one of the ones, himself and Chris Supasich, I think, at the start of the race, got into a bit of mischief. Don't know if we got to look at a replay of that, did we?
We didn't, and it was on the opening lap, and here is what that was. So Michael Gunstone, and I think that must be Luke Allman coming side by side, coming up the hill. Oh, unfortunate, just a bit of side tap there. Spinning it up on the GP circuit pit lane exit we see there. So that's unlucky, but he's done a pretty good job of making his way back up to where he is currently in the order from having that early drama. and now finds himself tied to the back of Sean McNamara and Dan Nolan's vehicles.
Yeah, Jono Gibson, Robbie Bradbury, Daniel Heddershide and Glenn Collinson all down the lane now as well.
Yep.
So that leaves us with
Quinn
two
Wilson
cars,
and
Quinn
Shane
Wilson
White.
and Shaney S. White S.
Yes.
And they're both up a good amount of spots, but they will come down. Quinn Wilson will be looking good for a bit of an undercut, I'd say too.
Yeah.
Overcut.
Overcut. This sort of puts it into perspective a wee bit there. We've got obviously Shane, who's sitting towards the front there, still waiting to pit, but he's now got Bruce Tannock passing him. So Shane, even though towards the front here, he'll be down the orders a wee bit after he comes in for his second stop. Leon Weir chasing Roger Forbert. There's been some really close battles between those guys in the past, and unfortunately for Leon, he's always seemed to have struggled a wee bit to actually find a way to get past old Roger. He certainly makes it very, very hard.
Elbows out.
Yeah, but very fair, very clean. They've had a wee bit of rubbages from time to time, but certainly gentlemanly. It's been well respected and at the right times, not where someone's going to be shelved into a wall. I enjoy watching some of their battles unfold. As just looking off the back of Luke Allman here, Robbie Bradbury, Jono Gibson, Eamon Young, all tightly fighting there.
Yeah, Eamon Young just losing 2 spots there. Robbie Bradbury and Jono Gibson getting their moves done.
Yes. Oh, Dan Nolan flicking the side of his Commodore out, now allowing Sean McNamara a bit of a run in.
Quinn Wilson down the lane, Shane White also down the lane. Bruce Tannock will assume control, and that is the fastest lap of the race too for Bruce Tannock at 2:19.36.
There we go. Well done, Bruce. Fastest lap of the race so far. Here we go. Quinn Wilson rolling out of pit lane, currently 9th. Will he be able to beat Blake out and up under speed? Don't shoot across the white line too soon. Looks like he's got that well under control. Car between Quinn and Blake there, but Blake 3.68 seconds behind Quinn Wilson there now, but just for Blakey sitting inside the top 10. Fast guys at SuperCars NZ, as Wayne always said, will be inside the top 10.
Oh, bit of a touch there, and Robbie Bradbury's gone around.
Oh, and bit of a hectic spot to lose it as well.
There's Eamon Young and Jono Gibson in a good battle, and this is for 6th and 7th there. And so been a quiet night for Sean McNamara. He's actually up 5 spots into the top 10 now.
Yeah, it's good one for him, as we had seen Robbie just fall outside of that. While these guys are battling on, I'm going to have a look back and see what caused Darren Lobb to forfeit his position there at the beginning of the race, and drop so far back as what he did. So this is Darren on lap 2, possibly getting it wrong. So he got shark attacked. We nibble on the rear bumper by Bruce Tannock.
Oh, well, they're a couple of mates. They'll work it out.
But they 100%. Yep, they will. There we go. So that was that. Oh, look at that transition, almost right to the same spot on the track as where we just left. Sean McNamara on lap 3 if we didn't catch what happened to him, but this was him having his moment. Coming down into the braking zone here for the final chicane, and he thought he might have been about ready to line up Blake Greenhall there with a bit of an unfortunate late dive, and jumped on the brakes nice and heavy to avoid that contact, but unfortunately for him caused that bit of half rotation and losses of spots.
This battle you've just jumped onto there, Eamon Young, Quinn Wilson and Jono Gibson.
Yep.
And it's been going on for a few laps. They've been changing positions frequently, these three. Quinn Wilson's our biggest mover. He's up 16 spots.
He is indeed, yep. There's a few others in there that have done, we've got some 9s and 6s and stuff floating around in there, but whoopee, Quinn, that's a mega effort there, bud, and we'll keep an eye on that one and see how he finishes his race. I think for people who can come along and do something like that, have a clean night's racing and gain some spots like that, will always, in my book, warranted getting a bit of some reward. So not too sure yet. We'll have a wee confer at the end of the race, but we might go and throw out a couple of stubby coolers, Corey.
Oh right, yeah. Who are we going to throw them out to, Doug?
Oh, just like I said, we'll have a bit of a we'll have a wee korero before the end of the session and work out who might be some drivers that'd be worthy of sending some stubby callers out to before we get into our summer series, when the Bears will be flying for our Piston Cup racing and our summer series of fun.
Yeah, well, let's get somebody in the comments then. Who do you think needs a stubby cooler to cool down? Maybe, who's been a little bit hot tonight?
I certainly know who's been hot tonight. It doesn't necessarily mean hot under the collar. It could be that they're smoking up the field. They're doing things, moving fast. Got hot tires.
We'll get a view from Eamon Young's point of view here. This battle still going, and Quinn Wilson looking for a way past Dr. Depp.
Yes, you certainly did some Stonesy. That's exactly what I was referring to. It doesn't necessarily have to be that one. But yeah, sure, why not? You fire out some names who you think might be deserving of a stubby cooler tonight, from what you've seen from tonight's racing.
I tell you what, we should just send one to Scott. Just his comments disappearing.
Yeah.
Leave your comments there, Scott, and we'll send you a stubby cooler, mate. No, he doesn't know. They're still going.
No, he'd say it doesn't need it.
Oh, well.
We appreciate you, Scott, and all your slight oddities. I hope he leaves the top comment. Yeah, Scott certainly won a few prizes over the few years, and if anyone wants to know how Scott does it, it's simply just by being here, the Broadcasting Lounge, being a subscriber and a chatter.
He'll make any sign of being here go away, though.
Yeah. But yeah, if you want to win cool stuff, we give away stuff for our viewers. Just be here, listen, watch the stream, comment live. Let us know who you are, what you do, what you like. How do you like it?
Well, I like it Gen 3, Doug, and I've only got 20 days-ish, I think. Yeah, looking forward to it. It'll be out on the 11th here, basically, so the Wednesday. And things are going to get spicy.
You sound like a man who has been deployed somewhere overseas in uncharted territories for far too long and has got nothing more on his desire of coming home and being at one with his car.
Yeah, well, or my simulator, and it's everybody else's cars, not my own. But I'm looking forward to a change up in the V8 landscape, I guess. It's a bit of a stalemate for me. Like, I got sick of the car a while back, and I haven't been able to drive it. So here's hoping Gen 3, everybody's in the same boat. I'll jump in it too and start giving it a hoon. You might see me on track, take me out, payback's a bitch.
That's it. We may have to set up a few hosted sessions together just to go out and do some MX-5 bashing, just so we can get used to turning the old steering wheel again and building up a little bit of that race fitness and pace that...
No, I'm not touching anything. And then I'm going to buy a Gen 3 car, a Mustang, because the Camaro's ugly, and I'm just going to start driving. I'm not going to touch anything on iRacing until that car comes out. And I'll jump in the first official. God damn it, I will.
There we go, folks. Corey, very much looking forward to the release of Gen 3. And I'm not going to lie, I'm looking forward to it too. I think it's a really awesome thing, iRacing working together with, with these real-life vehicles and the manufacturers of them, and the fact that the Super V8 calendar has had them out rolling around, got them 99.95% squared away as far as that P word that we won't mention anymore, parody, goes. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I know the boys who race in the proper series, they were certainly looking forward to having a car that went back to a bit more of the traditional racing sense. Lower, less downforce, a bit more power, a bit more squirrely, bit more flair. Have to sort of learn how to tame the beast as it was once again, but it opens up the ability to have some really, really close racing, and for the drivers to be able to drive the way that they remember from their youths, and making that racecraft come through and do its thing.
Yeah, Scott, he's just put in the comments what my expectation is of Gen 3. Well, I tell you, I just basically said it. My expectation is everybody's going to be in the same boat, so I'm going to jump in and give it a whirl too. And it might be a POS, but yeah, we'll find out. It's definitely been a long time in the making to get it on the service, but I tell you what I'm even more excited for is when the Supra comes out. I'll be all over that like a rash. Eesh.
Yeah. Get some whoosh tush happening from the big 4-litre V8 thing that I think they've got planned to go in it.
Yeah, it's exciting, isn't it? Something new.
Yep, very much indeed. Just a little bit over a lap and a bit to go. Bruce currently leading this field 5 seconds ahead of Dion de Graaf, the P2. He's had a great race, Dion. Roger Forbert sitting there comfortably in third. Not so much under strain or stress anymore from Leon Ware, who was chasing him, but he now falls a couple of seconds behind. Luke Allman currently holding on to the 5th spot. Jono Gibson, Eamon Young and Sean McNamara closing up towards the end of the 10, and the closest battle pack out there at the moment. Oh, Michael Gunstone, he's had a recovery drive of the century from his earlier faux pas. Sitting there inside the top 10, P number 9, only down 4 spots from where he started. And Blake
Give me 2-6, Doug.
Well done, mate. And Blake Grenhall there, still sitting comfortably inside the 10 here at SuperCars NZ, Allports Motorsport Div 1 V8 races. There's some fast boys out there, they know how to do their racing thing. It's incredible though, you look at it and think that from Blake here in the 10 is still 25 seconds behind our lead car. But still got tight racing happening here with Jono Gibson there and Eamon Young just in behind. Sean McNamara wondering and hoping and wishing that if those two battle a bit too hard and get tripped up over one atop of another, that he'll be able to make up another couple of spots to finish up his race. But doing a mighty fine job so far. Our Macca currently up 7 spots from where he started into P8. But then yeah, we look at Eamon Young. He's the one who's made the most positions inside the top 10, and that is up 10 spots from where he had started. The boys rolling across the line, which can only mean that our lead car has also done the same thing. We are up and on to the final lap of the race. A few cars towards the back of the pack, still taking the chance to battle as well. Robbie Bradbury being one of those, currently battling, see if he can get past Glenn Collinson toward the end. And just back from that, we have Chris Upsich and Shane White, two of the Passionson Racing boys, having some fun, still keeping those battles alive and moving. Half a lap to go nearly. Bruce Tennant coming down through the pack here.
That last lap pass attempt there from Glenn Collinson. No, Robbie Bradbury on Glenn Collinson. Bit of a tart.
Yeah, drew up alongside him there, as we just saw down in the old view there. Robbie and Glenn. Was not to be at this point. Down the bottom, the live view, with less now than a quarter of a lap to go. Bruce Tannock is nearly 7 seconds ahead of his competition.
Do you want to switch with me?
Transition there with Brucey. 7.3 seconds as he comes through the final chicane up over the line, pushing the pedal to the metal, across the checkers. And yeah, that's the one for Bruce this evening. Dion coming across the line, holding on to P2. Roger Forbert rounding out spot number 3. Leon Weir doing his thing, finishing up in 4th spot. Luke Allman there in 5th. Yep. Eamon Young, Sean McNamara, Michael Gunstone all doing that. Blake Grenhall running out our top 10. Daniel Heddershire, Quinn Wilson, Derek Lovegrove and Robbie Bradbury just ahead of the final battle pack that we saw, thanks to the picture-in-picture, was Robbie, Shane, Glenn and Chris, all having some mega fun with one another. And it was awesome to see that even before the on the final lap of racing that these guys were still keen to give it a nudge. Stefan Adams, P19, PVDB, sorry, Peter van der Berg. Last car rolling around the field on that lead lap. Going across the line, P20. Mr. Simblacks, Stefan Adams, again the old rears glowing there. But there we go, Shano. Corey, that was a fantastic evening of racing for what was round 9 of the Allports Motorsport Championship for the V8s. One more time, we've got the information there for next for our event. Soapbox Derby. I'll let that sink in so the peoples at home can have another quick wee read over that one and understand what the go is. But that's coming up soon, and why not at least go and practice with one of the V8 cars and familiarise yourself with the track.
It wouldn't be a silly idea, and I can tell you, I gave it a try, and yet to make it even halfway.
There you go, heard it here first, folks. So, as Corey said earlier, so it's the car who can get the furthest down the hill before they crash, or the one who can get to the end of the track at the end of the hill on the fastest amount of time. And if I remember correctly, looking at some of the cars who've done that Soapbox Derby down the hill with only being gravity assisted, I'm pretty sure it takes near on was it about 14 or 15 minutes to get down under gravity fed speed.
I don't know, and I'm lucky to get 4 minutes into it, and there's a corner, and if you take too much out of it, it's sort of, there's an up bit there, and I'm really struggling with it. And also the dirt section, just because I'm trying it without any accelerator at all, so just coasting off the start and saving all the fuel I can, and then because a couple of straights at the end you can use your fuel on, I reckon.
There is a couple indeed, yes. So obviously the boys have to be pretty strategic on how much they use and when they want to use them. It sort of becomes that risk versus reward. Do you want to gain that extra half a second to a second of time, or do you want to say hello to the trees and that be your total distance locked and loaded? But that's the next event. Special event coming up. Really looking.
I tell you what,
forward to that.
We've got Dion's down there in the Discord. He got himself a second place. Let's just cold drag him in, eh?
I would.
No, all right, no.
Yeah, no.
I'll go with that.
Yeah, no. We'll leave that one. We do have the waiting room for that, but they can just see the boys already reviewing some stuff. So if they don't really want to chat, I'm sure they'll stay there and do their thing. But we'll get ourselves rounded up, and not because we didn't see anyone put any names or comments into who might be able to walk away with a stubby cooler. I'll leave it to you, Corey. Who do you reckon was a hot racer tonight that could do with a stubby cooler sent to them before our summer series?
Well, I'm going to go Quinn Wilson because he was our biggest mover.
Yep.
Up at 11 spots. So, and if I go to off tracks, Ross Watson is the most off tracks. Let's give them both a stubby cooler.
There we go. We can do that. Well, there you go. So, stubby cooler heading off to Quinn Wilson for making up the most number of spots during the race, and to Ross Watson for using all of the above as far as as incident points can go.
Well, no, that's just off tracks in SDK, so not incident points. It's just the highest number of off tracks it's
Oh
given me
yes,
in there.
yeah, there we go. Highest number of off tracks, so the same, not quite the same, but a little bit the same.
Yeah, same, but different.
That's it.
And thanks iRacing for the great service you provide us too. Without that, we wouldn't have Gen 3 coming out on the 11th of December.
That's it. And massive thanks to Allports Motorsport for continually looking after our main V8 Championship. Look at them on allport.nz for any motorsport or sim related needs that you may have. Get in touch with Chitty over there. We've got things from Sparko gaming gear, some seats and gloves and boots and socks, through to all your other real life racing attire. You could have a whole stig hanging up on the side of your wall, or you could put it on before coming and having a hoon in these simulated races, before going and jumping into your Saturday weekend warrior and going and cutting some laps around our lovely racetracks that we have here at a club day here in New Zealand. So check out them, they do the stuff. Massive thanks to Napa Auto Parts from Sydenham and Christchurch for looking after the sponsorship of the Broadcasting Lounge. It's mega that we get to be able to give away some bits and pieces from them. Still hunting to get to that elusive 500 subscribees for us for the Broadcasting Lounge. So if you've joined tonight and you're not a subber, jump on to the Broadcasting Lounge on YouTube, hit the old subscribe, because when we get to 500 we'll be doing a big giveaway thanks to that. It'll be a big prize. They've guaranteed that for us, as we've done a couple of those in the past for other milestones.
Yeah, look out for maybe an awards evening in December as well.
Yep.
Some ideas just popping up today.
Yep. We're certainly doing it. And yeah, thank you, Corey, for motivating us with the move for Movember itself, growing the mows, and for the all-important support for men there, and also just recently with our the ties into the Cancer Society as well. So we certainly appreciate your hard work that you put into the charitable thoughts and the kind and caring for others who are currently struggling. Yeah, we love you, mate, and hope that all the people important to you in your life currently and have been going through some things keep on the up and up and keep getting better. So thanks, mate, for joining me once again here in the Broadcasting Lounge as well.
It's absolutely cool, Doug, and you're the guy that gave back a jinx shifter after he won it, and I'll never forget that, my friend. So yeah, you're up there with one of the nicest guys I know, mate.
It's yeah, no, I had my reasons for it with the boys on that one. It was one close to heart, looking after the young ones who don't have much of an outlook moving forward in life, and trying to keep them out of trouble. So I was more than happy to be able to redonate that back, to be able to get a few extra dollars put through for Richie Hardcore's.
Before we go, I'm going to have an
event.
update from Movember. Just going in here
yes.
now.
Yes,
We're at 640,
Whoa,
ladies and gentlemen.
Wicked. So I think originally
So
you'd put down a task for 500, and you've now put down the gauntlet to see if we can hit 1,000.
Yeah, so that's come through to me. So I'm just going through to have a look. We got $30 through from Shane Edgar and $20 through from Kimberly W. So thank you very much.
Oh, fantastic, guys! We certainly really appreciate that. It's awesome. Thanks for getting in behind our awesome cause.
Yes, that takes me to 620. So yeah, we're edging closer to that 1,000 goal. So that's pretty awesome. Thank you very much. And Movember is our weekly sponsor, so that extra plug at the end is for that.
Nice. Go and get your partner's phone out, scan that QR code, have a look in the description of the YouTube channel chat there, and also on our SuperCars NZ page you'll find details linked to our Movember MoSpace link. Jump on there, and yeah, anything will be greatly appreciated. It's amazing just to see what a few small dollars that you might be able to part with can do to make a significant change to someone's life. Thanks very much from
Amen.
us at SuperCars NZ, and we will catch you on Thursday for the MRP HPR Racing Series.
It's gonna rain.
It may rain, it may do, indeed. Thank
It's
you.
gonna rain. That's my name. That name again is Mr. Plow.
Sorry, that one was accidental.